Hello everyone. In this video, be my quick thoughts and first impressions on the Marshal for the Black Templars within their codex. And as a quick disclaimer, like in the previous videos, I don't have any full-on experience in a 2,000 point game with the Marshals or Black Templars yet. They are in a list that I've made and I have ready to go to play in a 2,000 point game on Tabletop Simulator, but as of yet, I do not have experience playing them, so this is not a video from the perspective of someone who has played it, but more of my quick thoughts and first impressions based off of what I've read and what I've seen when looking at their datasheet and throwing them together into a list. But with that out of the way, I hope you guys enjoy. Now, for my thoughts and first impressions, beginning with how the model looks, it is a good looking model. Very Black Templars themed, has the knightly crusading knight look to it. Personally, not a fan of the unhelmeted head. That is something that you can rectify and change. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, on the sprue, it does come with a great helm head, but you can throw a Space Marine helmet head on it from like the Horus Heresy stuff or from other 40k models, and it probably looked fine or great, just all things considered. In regards to their profile, from how I read it and from what I've looked at it, their profile definitely looks good in melee. Their points cost being 80 points, it's not too different than running a captain for Space Marines proper. They can lead assault intercessors, Infernus squads, intercessors, Crusader squads, Sword Brethren, and Sternguard veterans. So overall, with regards to what units you can attach them to your standard stuff, you're more likely to attach them to Crusader squads, Sword Brethren, or assault intercessors. Mainly because those are the more melee-oriented guys, and it leads to them being able to make use out of the Marshal's ability or abilities. And then from reading the abilities, first off is Inspirational Exemplar. Being able to make a unit that he's attached to, and this includes himself, critting on 5s, that's great, right? Just flat out, you can't say anything bad about that. Being able to land a critical hit on 5s is amazing, especially when considering that you have him lead a unit with like leading a unit with a lieutenant, and they're both leading a unit of Sword Brethren with Astartes chainswords. Because it's the Black Templars, those chainswords have sustained hits 1. They're being led by a lieutenant and marshal, so they're getting lethal hits from the lieutenant. They're critting on 5s from the marshal. That's, if you roll any 5s on those attacks, to hit those attacks, that's sustained plus lethal hits. That's fairly solid for getting a bunch of extra wounds and whatnot in. There's the Marshal's second ability, Pious Fervor, is also it's just a good ability. Like it makes the Marshal more like just man, like because each time this model's unit decided to fight until the end of the phase, add 1 to the attacks characteristic of this model's mastercrafted power weapon for each enemy unit within 6 inches of this model. Potentially, you can make him have 10 attacks with a mastercrafted power sword, critting on 5s if he's still attached to a unit. That's pretty big. That makes him have a higher likelihood of getting attacks that hit. That's a higher likelihood of proccing lethal hits. That's a higher likelihood of getting wounds into a target, and just overall like bringing something down. And so I definitely, from reading like the data sheet, really looking into it, brainstorming a list and putting together my own list of it, it's like, why wouldn't you take 3 of these guys? Right? Why wouldn't you take 3 of these guys, throw them together with Sword Brethren and lieutenants? 3 like let's say like 3 Sword Brethren squads of 4 or 5, with a marshal and lieutenant leading them each. It's like, give all those Sword Brethren chain swords if you really want to. They have sustained and lethal hits on 5s, and then if they end up being surrounded in a bad way, you could just basically have the Marshal just go, you know what, screw this, I'm getting my bonuses to my number of attacks. And he's just gonna throw hands and really put the hurt on people, and like it just that's a great ability. What more can I say? Like, there's nothing really negative about him. Like, the only thing negative about him I could say is just, man, I don't like how he's bald. This is partly what I don't care for with his no helmet head. That's really the only negative I could give. Is just he's bald. But with that, guys, that'll be my quick thoughts and first impressions of the Marshal. Once again, thank you all for watching and listening. Feel free to comment down below what your thoughts are on the Marshal. Do you like how they are now compared to how they were in the Index? I know from what I recall in the Black Templars Index, they were more basically just captains with like minor differences. What kind of experiences have you had using Marshals, right? This is, in the Index days of Black Templars, in the Codex, how have you fared with Marshals? Have they been absolute beasts and powerhouses? Feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Also, how have you dealt with them if you've fought Black Templars? Were they a big pain in the butt? Feel free to let me know. Like always, let me know in the comment section down below if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. Liking, subscribing also does let me know, hey, you guys are interested in this kind of content. But yeah, with that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my little quick rant and ramble and first impressions of the Black Templars Marshals. I do intend on running them around in a list. But with that, I hope you guys have a great time wherever you may find yourself, whether you're at school, you're at work, or you're at home chilling. Hope you're having a great time. And if things aren't going well or they could be going better, well, I hope they get better. But until the next time, guys, I'll see you next time. Peace.